What's up, guys and gals? Iceman here. Welcome to Chilling Tales. Appreciate y'all for coming by. Like this video, if you will. Hit the thumbs up button. And paw that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. Links in the description below. So this one's a doozy. I almost don't want to tell it. Alright, it involves a young girl. And her fate is unsettling. One of the most treacherous, mysterious, concerning black bear attacks that I've ever heard. Now, as many of you know, these stories don't always make the big media news. They don't like to talk about it. I don't really blame them too much. I mean, I like animals too. But the truth needs to be heard. There's a lot of these bear attacks that only make the local news, and then it's covered up. All right? But do what you will with that. So this one took place in Upper Michigan, not too far from where I live, in fact. There's black bears everywhere. Long, yellow, bacteria-ridden claws, big sharp teeth, big, husky, grizzled bodies. Now, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". All right? But even I know not to mess with a black bear. People who've encountered them say that they feel like they're made of solid wood. It's like you punch a tree or something, or you try to swing your arm at a tree and it's just useless. Their bones are so thick and dense. They're so powerful. A lot of people don't realize how quickly they can climb a tree with how heavy they weigh. You know what I'm saying? Watch out for black bears. So, Audrey was a beautiful young girl, only 12 years of age, with her whole life ahead of her. Her brother was a little prick. He'd pick on her, he'd tease her, he'd scare her. He even misled her about the bears. He said, "Audrey, the bears aren't going to hurt you. Yeah, they're cuddly, just like your teddy bear. Go up to the cubs. See what happens," is what he would tell his younger sister. Audrey loved animals. She collected them. Now, her mom and dad were still together. They live in a secluded area in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Her father worked from home, her mother stayed home, but they would let the kids venture out into the woods and sort of do whatever they wanted. A little bit of the hands-off approach, if you will, which is unusual because they did live out in the boonies, you know? I don't know, it's sort of a strange concoction in terms of raising a family that was going on in this household. Audrey would collect spiders and insects. She'd bring them into her room and put them in an aquarium and keep them, see how long she could tend to them, and so forth. She had such a fascination over animals. But the black bears are something else. And what happened on that day was treacherous. It was a September evening when Audrey was out picking flowers. She'd often surprise her daddy with flowers, just trying to please him, trying to get his mind off work and so forth. She'd travel out into the fields, not too far from their house, that were lined with wilderness that extended as far as the eye could see, and the Porcupine Mountains beyond. Her brother mentioned to her that if she sees a bear, go up to it and bring a cub home for him. Audrey, of course, was intrigued by this idea because she loved animals and her parents wouldn't get her a doggie. That's when it happened. She was picking flowers and she saw a little cublet. Oh, hi. What's your name? Can I touch you? She would stick her hand out toward the little cublet as it would sniff her finger in her hands. The cublet was very hesitant. You could see that the creature was unsettled. It sort of pulled away from the girl. Sort of calling for its mommy. No, I won't hurt you, said Audrey. She sat down her picnic basket and sort of knelt down on her knees, bringing her fingers again up to the bear's nose. Where's your mommy at? I'm only going to take you for a little while, is what she would say. And she reached out and touched it. Now, fortunately, you could look this up. Black bears, they're not as protective of their cubs as, say, a grizzly bear would be. And a polar bear, for that matter. Grizzly bears, if you were to touch the damn cub, you'd be dead before you could touch it. All right, they see you 50 yards away. Oftentimes, the sow, the mother, will attack you. Neutralize any potential threat. That's just how they operate. But the black bears, they're actually known to abandon their young. And I don't know if that's what happened here, but Audrey managed to grab the little cub. The mother was nowhere to be seen. She picked it up and it sort of tried to get away, and she just kind of clasped it against her chest like a little kitten or something. And she held its head down. No, it's okay. It's okay, baby. And then she started walking toward the house, and she could hear the mother climbing down the tree. She heard the and then she looked over the cublet, and she's like, oh, no, I'll be right back with your little baby. I'm just going to walk over to the house and show my brother, is what she really wanted to do. Now, yeah, she shouldn't have touched it, obviously. That's the problem is, I mean, hell, I remember when I was a kid, I would collect little animals and so forth. Couple birds, couple salamanders, but never a bear. That's where you got to be careful. But the mother hesitantly approached Audrey. Now Audrey has the bear in her hand. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. You can just relax. I'll be right back. I'll be right back is what she would say. Right? And the mother's like looking at her like, are you kidding me? It didn't want to attack her. Okay? And as Audrey started to walk away from the mother, the cublet that she was holding started whining all the louder. And she'd be like, no, it's okay, baby. And somewhere in that time frame, the mother realized that she had enough. That's the crazy part, is Audrey, she was able to walk away from the mother bear with the cub in hand, all right? But this little cub was whining something awful. And somewhere in that, the sow attacked that young girl. It probably only took a couple swipes. Now, I think it was just being opportunistic after it cracked her little neck, broke her spine, paralyzing the young girl. It dragged her away down a little gully, started eating her, sharing Audrey's carcass with the cublet. You could see her pale, white, clammy skin sticking out of the cache the bears dug for her. I don't even want to tell you the grotesque details of how they ate her, partly. Well, they left a lot of her there. Audrey didn't show up home that night, obviously. After the parents started getting worried, her dad had himself a 12-gauge boomstick, is what we'll call it. I have one right here. I'm going to show you. He went up to her little brother. Where's your sister?
I don't know. She went out in the woods.
What'd you tell her? They know and knew that her little brother would lead her astray.
I didn't tell her anything. I said you could bring home a frog or something.
He's like, what did you tell her? Daddy was pissed. He tossed the boy to the side and grabbed his boomstick. He ventured out. Couple in the... He chambered around. And he had 4 in the tube. 12 gauge. Bird shot. Not quite sufficient for a black bear, but it'll do if you needed to. He stormed the woods. Audrey! 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 And he sees the basket. No! He picks it up. And he smells something horrid. He sees, yonder beyond the hill in that little gully, the head of a black bear stick up. And then it knelt back down and out of his view. It was the cub. Then he saw it again, pokes the little head up looking at him and hides again. The cub was hiding from him. The dad's like, what the hell? And he goes storming over there. And he sees the cublet. He's like, what the... He's cursing up a storm. And then he sees the mother, about 20 yards out, standing atop a little cache that it dug with his daughter's legs sticking out of it. There's blood. There's a little dress ripped to shreds. That red blood against that pale skin created such a contrast of horror and distress. The dad nearly fainted in shock and horror. Oh! Oh, oh, that's when the bear stood up right above her carcass. And it grabbed him, and he cocked a shotgun. Boom! And he, you son of a... Oh! The bear dropped and then stood up again and charged toward him. It fell on top of her little carcass. The dad could hear bones crunch as the bear tore over her, just lurching at him. He chambered another round. USA! Boom! Right in the face, bird shot. At about 10 yards. At 10 yards, they stay really compact, so it actually can do a lot of damage. The bird shot's just a ton of BBs, right? Instead of just like 5 or 6 really big ones like deer shot. buckshot. The birdshot's like 50. But in close range, it can do a lot of damage because they all stay together in close range. So it creates like a fist of beads. And he hit the bear right in the cheek. And it blew off part of its cheek and bone. And the bear just bellowed. And the dad cocked another one in there. Boom! And the bear dropped. That's when he threw down his gun. He ran to the carcass of his daughter. He picked her up. He pulled her out of the dirt, and he saw her flesh and horror on her body and the disgust and despair. And you're like, yeah! The man was horrified. He passed out atop his daughter's rotting carcass. The bear lay dead and smoldering only 10 feet away from him. The cublet whining and whining for its mom. Its mom was dead. The cublet ran off and climbed a damn tree and was just whining the whole time. Finally, the little brother and mother showed up. They found their dad passed out. They thought he was dead. Yeah, I had to call the cops, wake him up. He had to go through rigorous therapy. He was hospitalized. This man, that daughter lay desolate. Some say in that small town of Michigan that her blood is still screaming from the ground. Like I said, they don't talk about it. The news probably said, a girl passed away from an accident. I'm telling you guys, they cover this stuff up. Which is why you gotta watch this channel, but that one's a doozer. I hate to tell it, but these stories gotta get out there. If you will, like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Become a patron to support the Chilling Tales. Let me know in the comments what could have been done differently to change the outcome of this wretched situation. And I'll see you all tomorrow with more Chilling Tales from the Iceman.